Dear students, what we have discussed in the previous lessons? Yes, we have discussed about scientific learning process, science process skills, and experimental work in science. There are different experimental works. Out of them, we have discussed about observation work. We have already discussed about scientific test. We have also discussed about research work. Dear students, what is research work and how research is done? How to write the research report? About that, we are going to discuss in today's class. Similarly, we are going to discuss about survey work also. In experimental work in science, there is survey work. So, today's class would be focused on research work and survey work. On experimental work in science, we have different processes of scientific skills, that is called science process skills, which we have discussed in the previous lessons. This picture can show the science process skill. Can you imagine? Look at here. What are the things you observe here? Yes, here is lighting of bulb, here are the tools, here are the atoms and molecules, there are the magnet, there are radioactive substances, there are chemical bond, isn't it? There is so many things are here in integrated form, isn't it? These integrated skills are scientific process skills, because we learn not only one skill in the science process skill, we learn so many skills, so many things about science process skills, and it involves observation work, scientific test, research work, survey work, model construction. Yes, we do involve in these activities regarding science process skills and experimental work in science. Dear students, look at here. What do you observe in this picture? Think once, look at it. What? Some of the issues, some of the questions we have to engage to get the answer. What do you get by the investigation, isn't it? That is represented by this signal. And look at here, here is the deeper engagement. There is a laptop, there is study, there is writing, reading tasks, there is the laboratory work. Then we should engage like this in which work? Research work. Research work involves the deeper engagement, isn't it? So, it is a process of deeper engagement in the study and investigation on a particular topic for understanding and knowledge construction. We have to engage, we should study deeply, we should understand the fact, we should understand the issues, then we should try to interpret the issues. Then after, we can get the knowledge, we can get the solution of that issue. So, new knowledge can be constructed. That is the research work. Dear students, any scientific research process begins with the question or curiosity. This is question or curiosity, isn't it? We should have the critical thinking ability. That means we should question. We should have the questioning ability on any issue so that we can learn the new thing. Otherwise, if we don't question, if we don't try to gain answer of that question, then our research, our study would be incomplete. So, researchers involved in depth study or research work. Who involved in research work? Definitely, researchers involved in research work. That is the depth study to get the solution based on a problem. Who will be the researcher? Yes, I am a researcher. I am teacher. I am a researcher. I can be engaged in depth study. Students are researchers who can study deeply, who can study from field-based activities, who can study from internet, who can study from library, who can study in the laboratory, isn't it? So that they can gain knowledge. That is also research work. And other researcher, academician are also engaged in research work. phases or stages of research. There are phases or stages which we have introduced in the previous lesson also. Here are some of the stages are followed, isn't it, while carrying out research work. The first stage is setting of goal or objective or purpose of the research. That means why research is done, on what issue research is necessary to be proceeded, isn't it, and what conclusion we expect from its activity. Yes, making inference or the formulation of the hypothesis. That means what do we expect from the research work? That is the hypothesis. Hypothesis is not the conclusion. That is the inference drawing before starting any research work, isn't it? Context setting of the context. So we can deeply engage in an issue or subject matter. After that, we should select the methodology. Which method we have to apply? That is the selection of methodology or data collection method. Remember, this data is the information, isn't it? So information can be collected during research work. And after collection, the data or information can be collected. This information should be authentic, reality-based, field-based, isn't it? So that our conclusion or our final drawing can be correct. After that, we should involve in the data analysis process. By data analysis, we can gain the conclusion or we can obtain the solution. These are the steps of the research work. Now, here is one activity. Dear students, please check your textbook. There is activity 1.6. What's about it? Writing report for research work. How to write report on research work. Before doing the writing skills, after performing research work, we have to discuss about the activity. What activity we should perform? You can perform this activity because it is not short activity. It is the long-lasting activity. We should wait for a week. We should wait for 20 days. We should engage for 20 days, 25 days or 1 month to accomplish this research work, isn't it? So, the activity is like this. It is based on a research question, isn't it? This question is the curiosity. What is the curiosity or question? What factor do affect the growth of algae in water? Remember, here is a sample of water. This water looks not clear. This looks little bit green, isn't it? Green is water. Why this water is green? There is algae. There is a growth of algae. So, it is not clear water. So, what factor do affect the growth of algae? Here are some of the items. Here is white vinegar, here is chemical fertilizer, and here are the sample. So, we are going to discuss this research work on this activity. Now, research objective is to explore the role of chemical fertilizer and acid in the growth of algae. Our research objective is like this. Here is acid. Look at here. Vinegar is a acid. And here is chemical fertilizer. You can say urea, isn't it? Urea or ammonium sulfate, ammonium phosphate, different type of chemical fertilizer are there. You can use any fertilizer or you can use combined fertilizer also. That is complete fertilizer, combining all type of chemical fertilizer. And if we use them, then what effect will be seen in the growth of algae? That is our research objective. And what materials are required? These are the materials, isn't it? The pond water with algae, 3 glass jars or bottles. We have used 3 glass jar or bottles here. Then chemical fertilizer and vinegar. Vinegar is acid, weak acid this is. Yes. Now after this is the writing research report. Look at here, writing report on research. We have to follow these steps. First step, research question. Second step, research objective. Third step, materials required. After that, what we have to follow? we have to follow the method or procedure, how to perform research work. What we have to do for this activity? Yes, first of all, we have to collect water with algae from a nearby pond in 3 different jars to about half filled, isn't it? We have to fill the jar about half or more than half also, no problem, isn't it? Then keep freely to the first. The first jar we have to keep freely. Add a little chemical fertilizer to the second jar. Second jar we have to add little bit chemical fertilizer and little vinegar in third jar, isn't it? There are 3 jar having 3 jar containing water with algae, which was collected by nearby pond, isn't it? Then we should have done these activities, adding chemical fertilizer and vinegar, and one of the jars should be kept without adding anything. Now keep on observing the growth of the algae at an interval of every 5 days. Dear students, what we have to do then? We have to observe the growth of algae in every 5 days, or you can use weekly observation also. You can go on observing in which jar algae will grow rapidly. Then write the conclusion based on the result. Observe after 15 to 20 days. After 15 to 20 days, what would be the result? We have to draw the conclusion. Dear students, let's discuss what would be the observation. Think carefully. Yes, we have used 3 jars, isn't it? 3 bottle jars like this. First bottle, first jar, second jar, and third jar. This 3 glass jar has contained water with algae, isn't it? There is algae also. The water is not clear, it is little bit greenish, so that algae is present there. And first we have added nothing, and second jar we have added fertilizer. In third jar we have added, yes, we have added vinegar acid. Then what would be the effect out of these 3 A, B and C jars? Yes, that is our observation. Yes, we are going to observe after 15 to 20 days. Then we can check what growth will be there. After that, we can draw the conclusion. What is your expectation? Yes, in which jar algae will grow more? First jar, second jar, or third jar? That is our hypothesis, isn't it? That is our expectation. That is our thinking. And what would be the final result of the experiment? Let's discuss. Here is observation, date and time frame. Yes, then growth of algae in first bottle, growth of algae in second bottle, growth of algae in third bottle, isn't it? In initial condition, what was the condition of the algae in first, second and third? Think carefully. And what was the condition after 15 to 20 days? Think carefully. Let's check it. What was the initial condition? Yes, the growth of algae in all the 3 bottles was observed almost similar, isn't it? Neither high nor low, isn't it? All the 3 jars have the equal amount of algae we had observed before. And after 15 to 20 days, that means after experiment, after adding chemical fertilizer in second jar and adding vinegar in the third jar, what was the result? Let's check it. Yes, the growth of algae in first jar remained same. No specific change was observed there, isn't it, in the first jar. And what happened in the second jar? Definitely, growth of algae became faster compared to first jar. What happened in the third jar then? Yes, in the third jar, algae started to die. Instead of growing more, algae could not grow, isn't it? Algae started to die like this. Look at it. Yes, first jar, the condition was remain same, isn't it, as it is which was in the beginning, isn't it? In the second jar, look at here, which was with chemical fertilizer. We have added chemical fertilizer, then growth of algae became rapid. That means, look at here, difference between first and second. Definitely there is difference, isn't it? First has less algae grow, second has more algae grow. And the third, yes, the color of water has also changed. Algae started to decay, the die. That means algae couldn't grow well. So, what is the conclusion of this experiment? Yes, our conclusion is chemical fertilizers play a positive role while acid plays negative role in growth of algae in water. Yes, this is the conclusion. You please perform this experiment. You can perform this experiment in group or individually, isn't it? You have pond, you have lake, you have river, isn't it? Where water containing algae you can find, and you can collect 3 bottles. You can use plastic bottle also, no problem, of same size, and you keep on doing this experiment and try to draw the conclusion, isn't it? You should use fertilizer in 1 jar, you should keep as it is position in 1 jar, and you should keep vinegar in another jar. Then do this experiment. Okay, this is the writing report of research work. Dear student, we have discussed about how to write research work, isn't it? This is the report writing. After doing research, we have to record it in the writing form. Under experimental work in science, dear students, we are going to discuss about another topic. What is the topic related for? This figure, check this figure. What is figure about? Definitely, there are some engineers, some technical persons who are measuring land, who are observing the land, isn't it? Who are surveying the land, isn't it? So, our next experiment work is survey work. Yes, do you know what is survey? Let's discuss about the survey. A survey is a process of collecting data related to a particular topic or problem directly to derive conclusion, isn't it? It is a process of collecting data or information, isn't it? This information or data related to any topic or problem can be done either in the field, either in the lab, either in the ground, or wherever we are. We can do survey work in different places around us, isn't it? So this is also one experimental work in science. While conducting survey work, data are collected through questionnaire, interview, discussions, observations, etc. as per the guideline focusing on a problem or issue. Dear students, there are certain methods, certain techniques which we have to follow while performing survey work. What are the techniques? Yes, questionnaire. That means we have to formulate, we have to develop questions before going for survey work, isn't it? That means we have to ask the question to the concerned persons, concerned areas about that particular problem, isn't it? Then we can take the interview, with the participants. We should have the participant, isn't it? In survey, like research. In research also there are research participants. We can apply interview and questionnaire in research work also. So survey work is also a type of research work. Remember, research work has many classes, isn't it? Different parts, different types. So survey is also one of the research work. And we can take interview, we can discuss on the issue, we should interact, we can observe directly, we have to go by ourselves. Researcher can observe the field and take the information as per the guideline. There is guideline, isn't it? Focusing on the problem or issue. The problem or issue That means we have already discussed about a research question in the research work. Here is also a research question. Then on the issue, based on the issue, we have to concentrate there. So data are analyzed to get the solution on a problem or issue, isn't it? After getting information, gathering information or data, they are analyzed, they are interpreted so that we can get the solution on the problem. Dear student, a survey work involves 5 major steps. What are the 5 major steps? Let's think. We have already discussed steps in the research work also. Yes, survey work has also similar type of stage. Yes, the first stage is selection of objectives. Same like in research work, we have to formulate the objective. What is objective? Why do we involve in survey work? Isn't it? That is the objective. After selecting objective, we can get the answer of the question, isn't it, after research work. Second one is the choice of data collection method, isn't it? Choice means selection of appropriate data collection method like interview, observation, field work, isn't it? Informal talk, in-depth engagement, different type of methods are there for collecting information. Third one is the collection of the data. After choosing the appropriate methodology, appropriate technique, we should collect the data on the survey. Then analysis of data, isn't it? We should interpret and analyze data, isn't it? Then we can draw the conclusion. Yes, following these 5 steps, we can complete one survey work. Dear students, we are going to discuss one example how surveys can be done. You also can involve in the survey work. Like here is one activity. Based on this activity, in the activity there is one problem, there is one question, and we have to engage, we have to be engaged in this survey work, so that after engaging in the activity, we should prepare a report writing of survey work, isn't it? Report writing is very important. Whatever you do, whatever you engage, then you have to draw the conclusion. You have to write the detail of the engagement or activities. Yes, activity is like this, which is in your textbook. Look at here, activities 1.8. Prepare a questionnaire for a survey. For the survey, perform a survey work about solid waste management, visiting at least 50 houses in your community. Maybe in Kathmandu, maybe in Lalitpur, in Bhaktapur, or Jumla, Humla, Kalikot, wherever you are, isn't it? Your community is the place for survey work. Analyze the collected data and prepare a report with conclusion and necessary suggestions, isn't it? Yes, the survey we have to do about waste management. Look at here. These are the categorized waste, isn't it? Waste are different categories, isn't it? Solid waste management mainly. There are the organic waste, biodegradable waste, non-biodegradable waste, metals, plastics, isn't it? And different type of waste are accumulated here. Our habit is to integrate all the waste in one dustbin, not to separate. That is not the good habit, isn't it? We should separate, we should disintegrate the waste, biodegradable waste and non-biodegradable. So what is the practice in particular locality, in particular village, particular area, that is studied during survey work. Dear student, title of the survey topic is A Study on a Solid Waste Management in one of the village of Kathmandu. Listen once again. title or topic of the survey is a study on solid waste management in one of the villages of Kathmandu. You can write place name of your locality, isn't it? There is Kathmandu. Kathmandu is one example. You can use any place where you perform survey work. Here is a background for the survey work, isn't it? Look at here. It is a city in Kathmandu. The surveyed area is a culturally rich village located in the inner city of Kathmandu. There are many temples, monasteries and archaeological monuments in this village. People do business, office jobs and farming for a living. Solid waste has emerged as a problem in this village due to the modern lifestyle. In this survey, study was done to find out how the people living here manage the solid waste that release out of their house daily, isn't it? Daily waste are releasing, then how people are managing, that is the main approach of doing survey. It is expected that the finding from this survey also help in the management of solid waste in other areas too. Not only Kathmandu, not only that particular village, the result of survey can be applied to other area also. Yes, this is the background. You have to write like this. You can use writing background on your own context, isn't it? Your contextual background you can write about the solid waste management. Now, report writing on survey work, then another step is analysis of the data, isn't it? How to analyze? From the analysis of the collected data, it was found that 50% of the houses used to throw solid waste into municipality vehicles without separating degradable and non-degradable waste. Similarly, 30% of houses used to separate degradable waste and make compost manure, isn't it? I think 30% have the good habit, good practice. They are using compost manure. Similarly, remaining 20% used to utilize degradable waste for making compost manure and the non-degradable waste to make the various materials. Like non-degradable waste means plastic, metal can be reused, plastic can be reused to make flower pot and other so many decorative items, isn't it? Some place you must have seen that. The obtained result are presented in bar diagram. Look at it. After that we can present a bar diagram also. Look at. So this bar diagram shows the result. This is non-separated, integrated. This is 50%. 50% people don't disintegrate the solid waste. They integrate biodegradable and non-biodegradable. Similarly, look at it. These are 30% people make compost, degradable waste they convert into compost, and remaining 20% people use compost for degradable waste, as well as they have practiced to use non-degradable waste also like plastic and other in different materials, isn't it? This was the result obtained from the survey work. Dear student, then what is our conclusion? After writing this report, we should draw the conclusion like this. The result obtained from the above survey shows that the practice of recycling and reusing waste has started in the survey area, isn't it? Has started. Only the 50% people don't have practice, but remaining 30% have started to recycle waste, that means degradable waste into compost. 20% people have started non-degradable waste into other materials, that means there is positive sign. So if that percentage would have increased, definitely solid waste management can be managed properly. Dear students, after writing report, there are survey questionnaire. Some of the model of survey questionnaire are given in your textbook. Please and do study them. Here are these some model of the question. Look at here, survey questionnaire. What do you do for the solid waste that release of your house? What do you do? Here are the possible answer, isn't it? Give it to the waste collector, or manage some of the waste at home and give the rest of the waste to waste collector, isn't it? Or all the waste are managed at home. What do you do? What is your practice? That is the survey question, isn't it? You have to ask with the people. People can answer the particular based on their practice, isn't it? Second survey question is, what do you do with biodegradable waste? What do you do with biodegradable? You have to ask to the participants, to the people. Then some can say make compost manure from it. Some can say throw it on the road or in river. Some can have practice to throw outside in the river also and hand it over to the waste collector. Yes, this can be the alternative answer of that survey question. Similarly, the third question is related to this. What do you do with the non-biodegradable garbage? Yes, the possible answer can be use it to make different materials, collect and give it to the collector, or burn or bury it. Some have practice of burning plastic. Some have practice of burning that non-degradable waste under the ground. Is it good practice? Definitely. I don't like that is the, I don't say that is good practice, because burning produces the poisonous smoke, and that poisonous smoke is harmful to us, isn't it? So we should not burn the waste. Rather, we should reuse, or we should send it to the other place by collector, isn't it? We should consult to the collector. Yes, these are some of the example of survey questionnaire. You have some ideas. Now you got some of the ideas how survey can be performed. And dear students, now one project work for you. It is based on the activity 1.9, which is in your textbook. Please check your textbook. What is the activity about? Yes, here are some of the picture. What do the picture relate? Yes, picture are related to food preservation, isn't it? How do we preserve food, isn't it? Food items. Yes, the project activity is also related to this. Prepare a report by surveying at least 30 individuals or families through interview. You can conduct interview, questionnaire, you can apply questionnaire, survey questionnaire as we have practiced before, or any other means on the various method they use to preserve food materials. What do they use? What practice do they have? You have to get information using survey questionnaire or interview based on the topic about preservation of the food. Dear students, let's discuss some of the multiple choice questions. Yes, some questions I am putting here. You try to find the correct answer. Question number 1 is like this. Which of the following statement is correct? Look at it. Here are 4 statements. The first is, the participatory engagement on an issue is called survey work. Is it correct? Second one is, the process of collecting data and deriving a conclusion is called survey. Is it correct? Third one is, deeper engagement on a topic is called survey. Is it correct? The fourth one is, the practical activities conducted in science lab are called survey work. Which is correct? Definitely, you have found the correct answer. Let's check it. Yes, the process of collecting data and deriving a conclusion is called a survey. Dear students, let's discuss question number 2. Question number 2 is like this. What is the process involved for getting conclusion in any survey work? Which process can draw conclusion in the survey work? The answer are, alternative answer are, formulation of hypothesis. Is it correct? Or selection of objective, or data collection, or data analysis. Which step can draw the conclusion? Yes, you have found the correct answer. Let's check it. Yes, data analysis. After data analysis, interpretation, we can get the conclusion. Dear students, we have discussed on different experimental work in science under scientific learning process, and in today's lesson we have discussed how to write a report of a research work. We have learned that, and we have discussed about the survey also, survey process and writing report of survey. I think you enjoyed today's class much and learned so much thing. This unit has been finished, and please complete exercise given in the at the last of the unit, and you discuss with friend as well as with your science teacher. Today's class is over. See you in the next class. Thank you. Namaste.